Hi everybody, this is Barbara from Plan B Life Coaching. I help struggling parents overcome their biggest parenting challenges, resulting in them becoming the parents their children need them to be today, not tomorrow, not when they become grandparents. Okay, so today the topic is when parents hit. Okay, and to be very honest with you, I got emotionally charged. Like I didn't even know that this topic is this important and this big to me until today. So I've decided to split it into two parts. Today we're gonna talk about what it means, what's the cost, and everything. Next week we're gonna talk about how to stop. So please, I'd like you to hit the share button if you think there is one person that might benefit from this session today. Please, please, please go ahead and share. I would love if you can help me spread awareness about this issue. It's huge, guys. It's really, really, really huge. So let's go on. Before we start, I'd like actually to tell you something. If you have any question or inquiry, if you'd like to stay anonymous, please, please, please PM me and I will get back to you. Okay, so let's get rolling. I'd like to start with a question. Why do people spank our heads? Why do people do it? What makes them? What is the goal behind it? What is the objective? Why do people do that? What do you think? If you're live, whether you're live or on replay, please give your comments. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Again, doesn't have to be you personally. It could be someone you know, something you've seen around. So it's not you. It could be somebody else. Okay? To be honest, people maybe they do it because they want to correct a certain behavior. Maybe they take it as a disciplinary strategy and they probably think it's effective. Maybe out of frustration, so maybe they've tried everything and like my kid is driving me mad, there's nothing else, I've tried everything, nothing is working. Could be. Maybe they do it to scare their children from doing a certain behavior, to keep them away from doing something. So could it be out of fear? I don't know. I keep on it's a brainstorm. I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Why do people do that? What else? What else could be the reason? Before I go on, I would like to make a deal with every single person watching me now, live, or maybe on replay. If you're a smacker, forgive yourself and let go after you watch this video. But I'd like to tell you something. If you continue doing it after this, I don't think you'll be able to sleep at night. You won't have peace. I promise you this. So if you're a smacker, it doesn't have to be just physically, verbally as well, counts as abuse. If you're doing it, forgive yourself now, today, and let go, because you did not know. After this video, you will know everything, and there's no forgiveness. Okay? It's never, never, never too late to tweak your parenting skills, to polish them up, to to be on track with your kids. But it's never, ever, ever, ever the right time to hit or smack or scare your children. Because I'll tell you something, children do not learn through pain. They learn through correcting, directing, redirecting behaviors, coaching them, showing them the how-tos, practicing, making mistakes, falling down, standing up again, turning those mistakes into lessons. What is the learning? What are you going to do differently next time? But pain, no one learns through pain. Do you learn through pain? Will you ever learn anything through pain as an adult, as a grown-up? Would like to hear from you. Maybe somebody did. I don't think so. But when we say pain, it's not just the physical pain, it's actually the verbal as well. I'm not gonna call it abuse at this stage, but verbal and physical abuse are abuse and they hurt. You know how sometimes you get so angry, frustrated, and those huge, gigantic words get out of your mouth, yeah? And imagine how these mega words land on these little people you're raising. Just imagine the impact. This word lands on them. If you picture them as seeds, like when you plant something, what are you planting? What are you actually seeding in them? What comes through my mind comes lower self-esteem in the future, comes violent behavior in the future. These are seeds, yeah? So whatever you seed, you get a plant, you get a bush. Maybe, what else? Maybe you can tell me. What else do you think when you seed this? What else do you get? And when I say future, it could be a very near future. Because words are so powerful. You can change your mood with words. You can change your life by changing your language pattern. I'm not going to go into details about this now, but words are so powerful. Language pattern is so powerful. You can wake up and say, good morning life, today, now I'm going to make the best out of my day or out of my morning or out of this live session now. Or you can say, oh, why me? How's it going to go? Are people going to join in? Or you can picture it's a state of mind and you are in control. So imagine when these words get out of your mouth and they land on them, what is the impact? I just want to leave you, when it comes to words, with this thought. What is the impact? What is happening? So guys, language. It is so important, not only with your children, in your life. Technology now allows us to remove scars. Maybe we're scarred, we have a scar somewhere that is bothering us, or that we don't like, we are so aware of. Imagine the scars that you're leaving on your children. No technology will be able to remove that. No technology, nothing. And the sad part about it is that when they grow up, they don't even know they have a scar or scars. They don't even know that. It's built in, it's part of their being, part of their doing, it's part of their personality. So, I mean, I don't know. You tell me. I'd like you to share stories. Again, it doesn't have to be you personally. It could be something you've seen, something you've heard. I just want your view on when you see this. How do you feel? What is the feeling? What happens to you when you see it done on other children or throughout other parents or next to the school, in the park, on the roads? Yeah. Okay. Let's go through what does it really mean when you hit. What really happens? What happens is you're modeling to your children the following. I am so angry and I'm so frustrated that I'm gonna use you as my boxing bag because I need to let go of my anger somewhere. This is number one. Number two, I've tried everything with you and nothing is working. I don't know how else to correct your behavior. So honey, when you grow up and when you're frustrated, go ahead, hit, smack, break, because this is how you get rid of frustration. Okay, so this is the first. I'm gonna share with you some of the things that you're modeling to them when you hit them or when you scream at the top of your lungs and you basically scare them, because it's the same effect. But what else is, honey, if I see you hit another child, oh, you're gonna be in trouble, because I have the exclusive rights to that. Okay? So it's a mixed message. You're confusing them. You're smacking him, and then when he copies you, he gets smacked again. Because remember, children will copy your actions before they actually copy your words. Yeah, so there's been an image of you, first your doings, and then your words. Okay. The other thing you're modeling to them is, honey, if someone is smaller than you in size, go ahead, my darling. Go ahead, hit him and hurt him if you don't get along or if you have a conflict, because you're bigger. Yeah? And this is how it goes. Authority and bigger people are stronger. So you go ahead and you can hurt him verbally, you can hurt him physically. You manage your conflict with your muscles or with your big words, like mommy and daddy, because this is how life is. And these little people are gonna be future husbands, are gonna be future parents, future mothers, future wives, and they're gonna use the same model because this is what they know. This is what you taught them. This is the skill to manage conflict and two different ideas. I'd like you just to imagine, just in your head, close your eyes and picture how many times are you bigger and stronger than your kid? How many times? Double? I mean, not in my case, but I mean, almost double. Add to it a little bit of anger, a bit of a bad day, a little bit of I'm not in a good mood, maybe frustration. Imagine the power behind this. How many times? So you're bigger, you're stronger, and you're charged with all these emotions. And you hit. Or you hit. Or you hit. What kind of a pain is that? I mean, the first picture that comes to my mind is like the torture that they do in jails and in some countries where they have conflicts. I mean, this is how ugly. And if you cannot see it that ugly, please bring that picture, watch the news for 10-15 minutes, and you'll see all the pictures. I'd like to see those pictures in your head. And I'd like you to anchor it with this. Or maybe stronger or harder. The other thing you're modeling to your kid is use your creativity and skills to lie to me when you grow up. Because you cannot trust me as your parent and as an authority. Because you'll get smacked. And because I'll lose control. And I'll be so angry. And by the way, this is the maximum love your kid is gonna have in his life, ever. Who's gonna love him more? Husbands, wives, kids, friends? Who's gonna love him more? You, the mom and the dad. So, this is his maximum share of love in life for now. The love that you're giving him. So, go ahead, be stingy or be generous. It's up to you. But now you know, and now you're aware. So, be my guest. Any views, guys? Any comments? Any thoughts? I'm trying to be happy, but I just cannot because it's this topic is very, very, very touching to me. You know, there is a mom, she has like a girl, she's 4 years old, took her to the play area with her other girlies, with other friends. And the moms were sitting somewhere and the kids were playing where they're supposed to play. And then the mom looks and she sees her kid like smacking, you know, hitting. And she thought, oh, there is a misunderstanding or something. She goes to the little kid and she's like, oh my darling, what's wrong? What's happening? And the girl's like, nothing, we're playing. I'm the mom. You know, I'm sure this woman felt dismal because she saw probably her parenting, or she saw her frustration in a second, in a very beautiful frame that she'll carry in her head forever and ever. Yeah. I mean, it's sad, but true story. True story. Okay. I'd like to talk to you now about the costs. What is the cost? The cost that you're paying when you hit and smack your child. When I say hit and smack, please add to it physical and verbal. It's not just the one that hits, it's the one that uses the mega gigantic words. I'll stick to these words. I'm not going to use more expressions to that. So when you hit, you create an anger cycle. Okay, it's an anger cycle for both of you. So both of you are angry, and it's not just the anger cycle. You're creating the feel bad cycle. Like I'm sure you've heard in parenting the positive reinforcement. Praise your kid when he does something good, because this will push him to do more and more of the good stuff. Yeah. So positive reinforcement, because what it actually means, it means the kid is feeling right. And when you feel right, you do good. When you smack and when you yell, you make him feel wrong. Yeah, you make him feel wrong. So he does wrong things and he gets smacked again. And he feels more wrong and he does more wrong things and he gets smacked again. And next time he gets smacked harder and yelled at. So it's a cycle. I don't know if you got it, but it's a cycle. And it only ends, and only ends, if you, the grown-up, the adult, the parent, puts a stop to it. Nothing else will stop it. Nothing. It will continue. Your kid will continue feeling wrong. He's not feeling bad, again, he's feeling wrong. Please underline this. Okay? The other cost to it, which is the bigger cost, is you're stepping on their dignity. You're stepping on their dignity, you're stepping on their self-esteem, you're humiliating them. I mean, again, verbally or physically, regardless, you are humiliating your kid. And it's our job as parents to nurture their unique personalities, to nurture their self-esteem, to work on that, whether through experiences in life, whether through situations they go through and how they sort it out. It's our job to basically keep their dignity intact. And when you hit, smack, scream, scare, you're doing the opposite of all that. What you're doing is you're stealing away his natural sparkle that he's born with. You're affecting his eye contact with others. You're making him feel smaller, feel weaker, especially around bigger children or bigger people. These are some of the costs. Again, these are not all the costs, so be my guest again. One more cost, which is super important, and I'd really love it if you guys can, like, if you don't take away anything from this, just walk away with this. Your kids, when he gets smacked and yelled at, he is not focused on what he's done wrong. He is focused on being hurt, on being in pain, on revenge. When I grow up, I'm gonna show her I hate her or I hate him. It's these kind of words, yeah? He is not focused on the behavior. Actually, the behavior is not even at the back of his head. He doesn't even know, probably after 1 hour or two, why he got smacked. He'll forget. But he'll remember that you did it. Okay? So he's not even getting a chance to correct the behavior. And this is why it becomes a pattern. He gets smacked and smacked and smacked because the behavior is not being corrected. He's not being coached on what to do differently. The parent is not using an alternative method. So it's not changing. I mean, when I was in school, and some of my friends are now live with me, hi everyone, we used to get smacked with rulers. Yeah, we got so creative in what's next. What mess are we gonna come up with next? Because that made us be cool. We were the cool guys in school. And we'd think about, so what's the maximum? Smack us? We'll take it. As long as we look cool, we'll take it. So actually the school never ever changed our behavior. They made us more creative. They encouraged us more. We were braver. We were just ready to do anything. Even learning was not as important as being cool. So smacking will never change the behavior, and it's a promise. I promise you. And the more you do it, the more violent they'll become in the future. And this future could be super near future. It doesn't have to be like you think, oh, I have time to deal with it. You don't have time to deal with it. And if you're doing it, please make sure you have a plan for the future. How are you going to handle these issues when they grow and they get out of your hand? How are you going to deal with them? Yeah? I'd like you to revisit your childhood, guys. I'm sure you'll remember the times when you got smacked or scared by an adult, by a parent, by a teacher, by an authority. Visit your childhoods. I'm not saying we all have issues, psychological issues and violent behaviors and stuff like that. No, many people bounce back and they continue with normal life, and they don't parent their children the way they were probably parented. But many still until today cannot love the hand that hit them. Cannot. I cannot love the hands of my previous teachers. Maybe they're alive and listening to me now. I cannot. I remember every single one of them. So please keep that in mind. Please remember this. You know how it starts? If you're wondering, it starts when your beautiful, naturally creative child wants to explore, and he puts his hand on one of your forbidden things, maybe a statue that your grandmother gave you. So he'll be like, no. And then he's curious. He touches it or he drops it, and you go like, yeah? Starts with a slap on the hand. And then obviously he didn't learn a lesson, especially when he's a toddler. He doesn't even have the verbal language, yeah? So it's a slap. And then he grows bigger, you slap harder, and maybe he grows a bit bigger, you start using other tools, maybe a wooden spoon, or maybe a belt, or it's a pattern. Why? Because you've programmed yourself to stop or correct a certain behavior like that. And I hope that by now you know that you're wrong, because you're not correcting a behavior and you're not stopping. When I say stop, it means this behavior never ever happened again, regardless whether you're looking or you're not looking. When you stop it temporarily, briefly, he won't do it just because you're looking. But if your child wants to jump through the balcony and you slapped him for that, when you're busy one day, he's gonna try it. He did not understand that it's dangerous, that he could die, that it's painful, that it hurts, that mom cannot live without you. If something happens to you, if I see your blood, this will happen to me, my heart cannot take it. All these words. He did not, he just got a slap or a bit harder. So this is how you're not stopping, you're not correcting, you're stopping it briefly, you're scared. He's afraid of you. He's not afraid of the behavior. He's afraid of you, not the behavior. I had to repeat this again. You know Maria Montessori, she's one of the first opponents very long time ago that was against slapping children's hands. And she said that children's hands, they are there. They're like an extension for their exploration, you know. And when you slap them, and this is scientifically proven, those kids that got slapped, they're less skilled in exploring. They're less skilled in discovering the world around them. So if you're listening to me now and you have a toddler and your toddler wants to explore, please, I urge you to leave his hands unhurt. Remove him from the situation, distract him, give him something else to explore, sit down on the floor, show him how to explore it safely. Please leave those little hands unhurt. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't do it that hard, or it's just a slap, I don't actually hurt him, you know. I do it like once a year or once a month or only in extreme situations. Regardless, whatever the scenario is in your head, I have a new perspective to you. Every time you do it, whether verbally or physically, picture it as a knife. Yeah? It's a stab. And every stab leaves a scar. And I will leave it up to you. How many scars can this little body carry? And how does it look like? Okay? I'm waiting to see if anyone has any comments, any suggestion, before I move to the last bit of today, which is the effectiveness. I'd like to say good morning to all of you guys. Good morning, Mello. Good morning, Katerina. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Sam. Okay, so the effectiveness. Does it really work? Like, okay, once in every 100 slaps it works, or what is the statistic? I don't know. I didn't even research that part. But I'll tell you something. Let's do it the simple way. How many times have you smacked your kids over the same thing? The same reason? How many times? Maybe this kid was not listening to you, he's not doing what you're asking him to do, whatever the reason is, but the same reason. Okay? This is the first question I'd like you to think about. Do you find yourself sometimes smacking harder or smacking more with fewer results? Maybe. This will give you the answer on how effective it is. How many times have you succeeded in correcting the behavior? Again, I will repeat it. Correcting means either stopping the unwanted behavior or correcting it. So instead of doing something, he's doing something else. So you gave him an alternative. How many times? And again, in both situations, when you're looking and when you're not looking. This is the effectiveness. If you find yourself hitting over and over again over the same thing, your method is not working. If you're hitting harder and you're not getting results, your method is not working. Anyhow, I think I've mentioned this before, if you punish, regardless, if you punish or give a consequence to your kid for the same thing more than 2-3 times, it's not working. Change it. Change the consequence. Change it. That's the word. Change it. It's not working. It's not effective. Okay? When you hit, you scare your kid from you. He's scared of you. He's not afraid of the behavior. It's only you. Okay? Please keep this in mind. Now that you know, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Until I see you next week, I'd like you please this week to monitor yourself. When do you lose your temper and you feel like hitting? When do you lose it and start screaming and shouting at the maybe top of your lungs, or maybe you use mega words? When I say mega words, gigantic, ugly words, I'm sure you know what I mean. Monitor yourself this week, only this week, please, and write down. Just write the answers down. Like this morning, I got so frustrated because this and this happened. Just quickly write it down, or take a voice note with your voice memo with your phone, because they will be very useful for you next week if you want to stop. It's a pattern, it's a habit, and I will share with you next week how to exit out of this pattern, how to stop this behavior, which is your behavior, the smacking and the hitting. Okay? So this week you're monitoring yourself. Next week you are going to learn alternative methods, and before you learn the alternative methods, you're going to learn how to stop. Okay? Please treat your children the way you'd like to be treated. If it's something you don't like being done to you or on you or said to you, rest assured they don't like it. Let's keep their dignity intact. Yeah? And please share this. If there is one person, again, I'll repeat this again. If there's one person in your network who is sitting in the darkness and thinking that that's it, because a lot of people will not even participate, I know that, but I'm sure they're listening. If you know one person in this dark tunnel, please share this with them. Let's show them that there is an exit, that it's a state of mind, and it all starts with you. Thank you very, very much, guys, for being with me. I so appreciate your time, and if you're on replay as well, thank you very much. Please share and help me spread awareness. Thank you, guys. Bye.